round three. I'll review this brand new documentary dropped on Netflix called Menendez Brother. And when I saw this documentary was coming on Netflix, I was like, wow. Did recently Netflix just made this show Monsters? It is based on this Menendez brother. Now they're bringing like real life documentary. Very interesting. After watching this documentary, you will feel like to watch that show again, The Monster, which recently dropped on Netflix. And that monster show is, I felt personally, a little bit different from this documentary. So after watching Monsters, which is, I will say, medium hit on Netflix, but this documentary is here, and when you see them side by side, I was like, wow. So I personally still really like that show, but I would say this documentary does a little bit better job on telling you the story about this Menendez brother, how they were convicted and their trial, and especially what was all this jury were thinking when their case was going on, and all the behind the scene drama of this case, which is like, wow, still now this case is so shocking and interesting. Personally, after seeing the show and after the documentary, I'm really confused because I don't know who to believe, because in the documentary it gave me impression that this brother, they did kill their parents. Let's not. There's no way around it. But this documentary is telling, like the way it was shown, it's telling us that, especially from the witness point of view, this, like they were so abused by their father. You know, like although the judge is said, like even though they were abused by the father, and even though they are the victim of the abuse, still you cannot go ahead and kill your parents, which is a good point from like a just point of view, I suppose. That means that when you hear their like the abuse, you hear the scene detail in this documentary, it makes you feel really sad for this brother, the way they were abused. So this documentary, I feel like personally done really good job of telling the story from this brother, their point of view. Because in the show, honestly, when I was watching Eric and Lyle, you know, their testament in the show, when they were giving those testament, I feel like they were lying honestly. So half of the time I was like thinking, are they telling the truth or they are? Because the way the show is done, it gives you a sense that in the show I felt like maybe these two brothers were guilty, you know. But watching this documentary gives you a different perspective. Although I'm hearing they're supposed to get bail or something, then again, yeah, this documentary is like, it will, like how it is, it will depend on what you are like expecting, because I'm personally not that invested in this story. So I feel like, yeah, I felt sad for the brother, because then again, because I have seen other documentaries, I do feel like a little bit worried, like as these brothers are really not guilty, like, so I do feel a little confused end of it if I like compare them side by side. So I feel like as a, like people who are excited to see this brother go free, they will enjoy this documentary more, because they will be like, whoa, look at this brother were really abused, and they're showing you in the light, and it's quite good from that perspective. But I think personally I also enjoyed it because this is like if you are thinking about entertaining point of view, it's very well put together. But because recently I have seen that series Monsters, which is a lot of people also have seen, your brain will not stop comparing both of these side by side. Yeah, you will feel end of this documentary confused, like I was feeling confused, like I have no beef in this story. So you know, I feel like I was still very confused end of it. I was like, whoa, because end of the day, that what just say, you know, based on the guilt and the abuse, should they be killing their own parents? That's not right either, I think personally. But from their point of view, they were just getting abused and the mom didn't say anything. So it's really conflicted feelings, I guess. That's what I felt on the end of it. So I think personally it's worth checking this documentary if you're invested in this story, especially in this Menendez brother story. And I had no idea. A lot of people are really interested in this. Although this show is not as hit as the Dahmer, because Dahmer is just so different type of show. This was very different type, because the end of the day, the reason for Dahmer to be so huge hit, because you felt for those victims who were like killed by Dahmer, very wrongfully, and you want justice for those victims. So different feelings when you watch Dahmer, and this is a different feelings because this Menendez brother, end of the day, they're not guilty. They did kill the parents, so you know what I mean. It's just that like the abuse angle, when you look at it, you just feel okay, sympathy for this brother. That is the difference, I will say. And still it's still very interesting. Like Netflix, they bought this documentary and they're dropping it after they made a show on this. Interesting stuff. And that's my thought on this. Let me know in the comment what do you think about this documentary. If you enjoyed this review, don't watch other reviews on other show. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe. Until I see you next time, please take care.